I've developed a theorem for love. I'll call it Theorem 1. It may be disproved later on. And in my experience, it has been that my age and the amount of time that it's taken me to realize after breaking up with someone that I were in love with them is inversely proportional. Which means my first love, I was very young. It took me a very long time to realize that that was the one. My next big love, I was older. It took me less time to figure out that that was conceivably the one. I'm hoping at some point, if my theorem holds true, that these points will intersect and I will have my love. If the two curves collide, I suspect it should be about 40 years old when I finally realize that the person that I'm with is the one that I love. And perhaps maybe even more important than the love for me is just the search for it. With the hope that the search will be fulfilled. And if my theory stands true, when I'm 40, I'll be very happy. And that's my theory on love, theorem number 1.
Well, I'm single. I'm always single.
When I didn't have anybody, I wanted somebody. And when I had somebody, I wanted to be alone.
The reason why people are attracted to me is also the reason why they stop liking me.
This is an example of what you could say love is at once hot and cold. It is at once fire and water. What some people would call an oxymoron.
I'm not afraid to lose any part of me when I'm with a girl. Because I know that in 3 weeks, the reason she's attracted me initially was because I was badass. And 3 weeks from now, that's the same reason why I will lose her. Definitely.
I would like to say that love is everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's everywhere. Or anywhere. Or nowhere.
Of course, love is also a drug. In my case, I smoke love.
And I'd like to quote Gibby Haynes of the Butthole Surfers. And I think they said it just right when they said, it's better to regret something you have done than to regret something you haven't done. And I think that's more than a theorem. I think that's an axiom.
Mais tu veux encore travailler. Tu m'avais pourtant promis ce soir on sortait. Tant pis j'irai dîner avec Henri.
It's difficult to talk to a French rock and roll band about love. You know, our lives are lived on the road. Everywhere we go, we are traveling, we meet people. Yes, the girls come up to us all the time, begging to meet us, wanting to kiss us. Is this love? Yes, perhaps it is for one night, you know. It's not terrible, you know. We go on to the next place. But for myself, I'm looking for something more. Is there a grander aspect to love than just a number of 22-year-old girls always fawning over everything I do? Is this enough? I don't know.
And now in terms of number 3, I can tell you're already going to ask it. The verdict is out on that one. I do not have a number 3. I would like to say one more thing though. Jenny, if by any stretch of the imagination someday you would happen to stumble across this, you are the one. And I really, really, really hope that at some point I can be with you again. And if not, I hope you're happy. It's one of those things that hindsight is always 20/20, but I've been more in love with you than anyone else. And there are often many times that I wish I had that back. I just hope that this doesn't get too sappy, but at the same time, I hope you find happiness. And it'd be wonderful if it were with me. That's it on love. What else is there to say?
No children next year.
Why?
Why? I want to play with my toys by myself. Right.
Yeah, but what about your girlfriend? What does she want to have kids?
Oh, she doesn't want to have kids.
Oh, really?
No, never ever.
No,
And never ever is
No
wrong.
way.
Never ever is wrong, but
This is
not
what you
within
think.
the next couple of years.
Well, I always said that I didn't want to ever have kids,
No.
but Valerie, she kind of wants them, so.
So we have to.
Well,
So we have
she
to-
said that she was willing to make the sacrifice and not have them if I didn't want to. But more and more she's kind of pushing. Saying, why don't we have a baby? And I'm like, why don't we go to the movies? I've got a better idea. So, I don't know. I mean, I could change my mind, but I haven't said that I will. So.
But it's changing. Your mind is changing.
Oh, sure, I guess I think about it, but I still don't want to have kids, certainly not now.
Men are never ready to get kids, and
I'm
sometimes you
ready.
have to say,
I'm ready to raise a kid as soon as it's 2 years old or something. 2 young families, and it really got on my nerves. Like kids crying at nighttime.
I guess the only thing is that you talk to old people who like don't have kids and they seem really lonely. You know, they don't have anything else in their life. They don't have a family. They just have their friends and their jobs, and so.
I think you learn a lot, you know, if you have a good kid. Each day after that, you learn, it's like to begin another life
Yeah.
and to learn anew and just to learn to give a life to someone and
Something more important.
yes, it's a love you never know before that. You know, it's really strange to think that you don't know the people maybe who are going the most important for you. And you don't know them again because you don't have them. So see guys, you are almost ready.
Almost.
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 Hopefully women are here to show you the right way.
Ça, c'est c'est peut-être la petite famille, le père, la mère, le petit enfant.
Ça, c'est mon petit enfant, Kira et moi. Ça, c'est une photo de mon fils qui habite en Californie. Ça, c'est Carson. J'adore les enfants.
Ich mag kleine Kinder gern in Stücken und in Scheiben. Ich mag kleine Kinder gern in Stücken und in Scheiben.
Je disais qu'à notre âge, les garçons, ils n'avaient pas envie d'avoir d'enfants, et les filles, les copines, abordent le sujet en disant tout le temps dans 2-3 ans on aura un enfant.
Je lui ai dit de toute façon qu'au début c'était normal, un peu stressée, que ça allait prendre du temps, puis elle commence à se marrer, elle me dit ah t'es vraiment devenue une spécialiste conseillère en bébé. C'est vraiment l'âge. C'est pas encore bon mais tu vois.
Mais d'ici 2010 ça va être une grossesse comme les éléphants. 3 ans.
3 ans de gestation. C'est pour Gus aussi, encore.
It's Olivier. I don't want kids. I don't want them. Don't want them now. I don't want them. It's too early. I I don't either. I got things to do. Pretty busy my life. I think it's a little thing about time. I don't want kids. I don't want kids. We don't want kids. I don't want kids. You? Right. I don't believe you.
Last year, I had a scare with a girlfriend. I thought she might be pregnant, and so we went to the store and we got a test. And I can't have a baby right now in my life. It doesn't fit in anywhere. But when the test came up negative, I started to cry, and I don't know. I realized that it's just such an amazing thing. Somehow, I also wanted that baby. Either way, I wouldn't have been happy. I really wanted to do it. I guess I wanted both, and I couldn't have been pleased with either outcome.
Tom, do you think that a woman makes a better parent than a man? Do you think a mother is more important to a child than a father?
Well, in my own life, certainly my mother was the better of the parents. I think a mother will always lay down her life for her cub. I don't think the male would.
Do you think two mothers are better than one? If I had two mothers, I'd blow my brains out. And so would you, right?
And Howard has 3 grandchildren of his own from his marriage, and those kids are the joys of our lives right now. And I'm actually the preferred babysitter. I mean, I fly to Chicago often just to babysit the kids for a weekend. I think because I take the mother's orders better than either her mother or mother-in-law would from her. So.
Je préfère une famille, une vraie famille avec un mère et un père.
Well, we are not trying to imitate the heterosexuals, but if society classifies a family by 2 people living under the same roof and then produce babies and expand, then we are a family. And I believe that homosexual families can have, and they do have, successful kids.
But one thing you could be sure of, the kid's going to grow up with great taste, he's going to love music, he's going to love culture, and he's going to dress well. Don't you think?
You're stereotyping. I could also say that a lesbian couple is going to produce a lumberjack. Don't stereotype anyone.
A pipe-smoking lumberjack, right?
Love is everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Love is in the sky.
Love is, I don't care.
Love is in my eye.
Love is in my hair.
Love's in my underwear.
Love is an au pair.
Love is psychotic fair.
Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere.
It's not up there. There's not on the bed.
Oh, the bed?